After voting for Kamala Harris and the Democrats up upwards of 90%, are Black Americans political chumps? All that and more on episode number 101 of Up to Speed with Trip Simpson.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audience.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Art. A to the RT. So many niggas want beef, go to Arby's. Not too many rappers in this game that can stop me feeling cocky. Cause my flow hella stocky. Yeah, and I does this shit. Flow sick, something like when your two cousins kiss. Ew. And y'all niggas know who run this shit. They out of breath. Tell the coach I need 100 bricks. Let me cook them in the oven quick. Take them out when these percussions kick. Yeah, and it was never really a discussion, kids. Trade you to another team like the Russians did. Whoa, what the bitches that be sucking dick? Hit me up, you know I love that shit. Yeah. And it's all go when I touch that bitch. Pass it to me, watch me clutch that shit. Swish, swish.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Up to Speed with Trip Simpson. I am your host, Trip Simpson, in the building.
The first of his name, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms and Protector of the Realm.
That's right. And before we get this live stream started tonight, first and foremost, you know we gotta handle business. Let's get it.
Family moving up in the business. I know you're gonna look after family.
What family you talking about, Ice?
Fuck, I look invisible, nigga.
That's right, I am not invisible, so do me a favor. If you're watching live on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that share button for me. If you're watching live on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, hit that like button and hit that share button for me, please. Also, no matter what platform you're watching this live stream on tonight, do me a favor, comment in the live chat below. Please help this video get off into the algorithm. Also, if you're feeling generous, go down to the live chat on YouTube, hit the super chat button. If not, hit the Cash App, as you can see right under me. Where is it? Right there. $ at Trippin' Ain't Easy TV. All right. Now, I got a lot I want to talk about tonight, but it's all going to be centered around this quote unquote culture that we claim to have. Okay? So yeah, I want to talk about Black culture and its ignorance when it comes to politics and just reading the room in general. Now, Malcolm X once stated about 60 years ago, he said that Black folks in America are political chumps. Now, he went into detail about why he felt like Black folks were political chumps. But to this day, even though all these Negroes claim to revere him and his rhetoric, we are still giving the Democrats over 90% of our vote. 90%. Now for Black men, in my age range, it's more like 73%, because it's like at Black men ages 25 to 50, we gave Kamala 73% of our vote. So that's not too bad. But still, in local elections and in most national elections, we still vote primarily Democrat. And we simultaneously whine and cry about the same systemic issues over and over again. Now, here's what I find interesting. How is it that Black women can brag and boast about being the most educated group in America, allegedly, and still not have the wherewithal to realize that voting patterns haven't improved one damn thing about the community since we started voting Democrat in the 1960s. I mean, we seriously have to look into this shit. And for the record, this is not going to be an indictment on all black women. There's plenty of black women with good sense who see the okie doke for what it is. But to my point, why can't we realize what every other group who's doing better than us socioeconomically might have had? But why can't we realize what they realize? The rest of these groups are at least closer to the 50-50 mark. And we're giving these people damn near 100% of our vote and not getting anything in return. See, they bank off black women and some of you soft black men, for all intents and purposes. They bank off you niggas because we fall for the dog and pony show very easily. All Biden did for black women, and I guess some black men during his entire 4-year term, was appoint a useless DEI Supreme Court justice strictly for the color of her skin. If y'all don't remember that, he said he was going to appoint a black woman. Now, I don't know how he didn't get sued for racism, but that's all he did. He picked a black woman for Supreme Court, and he picked the Indian non-black Jamaican woman as vice president. That's literally all he did. No policy, no tangibles, no nothing. Within the first month, he signed executive orders for the Asian community and for the LGBT community. And they didn't vote for him nearly as high as black people did. Just like that. Just like that. Now, he did actually take executive action for black folks. He did actually take some, but it was only to undo the funding commitment that Trump gave HBCUs. Trump made a funding commitment for HBCUs for, I think it was like $45 billion. And he made it permanent. The first thing Biden did when he came in office was undo that. But I don't want to ramble on about facts, because I know how much you Negroes hate facts. So I'll just get straight to it. At this point, black women, you have literally rendered yourself useless to both parties. These people ran through $1.5 billion pandering to you and still lost by a landslide. A landslide. Like it wasn't even close. So when the next election rolls around, who do you think the Democrats are going to focus on? Let's use some logic here. Let's get out of our emotions and use logic. The Democrats are going to drop y'all like a bad habit. Because they know you're going to vote for them anyway. And they're going to focus on the groups that they saw a significant drop in support from. And that's going to be white women, Latinos, and possibly black men. Now, to be honest, I don't think that'll matter because black men are starting to wake up in larger numbers and are heavily leaning towards conservatism. The trends are crazy, especially in younger black men. But nonetheless, black women, and I guess you could say the black people that vote in general, won't be a concern for them at all because at this point it's useless. Working class men and the women who love them are what the Democrats' primary focus will have to be. And like I said, that's Latinos, white women, and white working class men. And by proxy, any race of working class man who would benefit because the policy and tax codes would follow. And it would be centered around them. At least that's what the candidates would promise. But like I said, you Negroes always fail to read the room. The majority of the country doesn't give a shit about you whining about the right to delete your child. They don't care. The average American doesn't give a shit about how much a victim you claim to be. The average citizen doesn't give a damn about the patriarchy. Hell, deep down inside, they know it's the only thing that works. How do they know that? All you have to do is look at Exhibit A. What's Exhibit A? The black community. The majority of the country is focused on the economy, immigration, energy prices, and preventing unnecessary foreign wars. So again I say, read the goddamn room. Even biased ass MSNBC is now reading the room. Their ratings have been on a fucking, excuse me, watch my language. Their ratings have been on a nosedive since the election, and even after their audience realized they were lied to. Their audience realized that they were lied to. And MSNBC hasn't recovered yet. So what are they doing about it? They had to kiss the goddamn ring. All right, I want y'all to check this video out real quick. They had to kiss the ring. Hold on. Let's get that up. All right, give me a second. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's go.
Last Thursday, we expressed the past week, Joe and I have heard from so many people, from political leaders to regular citizens, deeply dismayed by several of President-elect Trump's cabinet selections, and they are scared. Last Thursday, we expressed our own concerns on this broadcast and even said we would appreciate the opportunity to speak with the president-elect himself. On Friday, we were given the opportunity to do just that. Joe and I went to Mar-a-Lago to meet personally with President-elect Trump. It was...
Now keep in mind, these peoples, and shout out to my man Guns and Cafe. Salute, bro. Now keep in mind, these are the same people that got on your television screen every single day, Monday through Friday, calling Trump a felon, calling Trump a fascist, calling Trump a dictator, calling Trump a grapist. They call Trump all these things. Now they want to sit down and talk. Let's go.
The first time we have seen him in 7 years.
Now, we talked about a lot of issues, including abortion, mass deportation, threats of political retribution against political opponents, and media outlets. We talked about that a good bit. And it's going to come as no surprise to anybody who watches this show, has watched it over the past year or over the past decade, that we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of issues, and we told him so.
What we did agree on was to restart communications. My father often spoke with world leaders with whom he and the United States profoundly disagreed. That's a task shared by reporters and commentators alike. We had not spoken to President Trump since March of 2020, other than a personal call Joe made to Trump on the morning after the attempt on his life in Butler, Pennsylvania. In this meeting, President Trump was cheerful, he was upbeat, he seemed interested in...
Real quick, just want to remind everybody to hit that like button, hit that share button. If you're watching live on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that share button. If you're on Instagram, hit that like button, hit that share button. If you're on Facebook, do the same. Let's get in this algorithm, people. Let's get it.
Finding common ground with Democrats on some of the most divisive issues. And for those asking why we would go speak to the president-elect during such fraught times, especially between us, I guess I would ask back, why wouldn't we? 5 years of political warfare has deeply divided Washington and the country. We have been as clear as we know how in expressing our deep concerns about President Trump's actions and words in the coarsening of public debate. But for nearly 80 million Americans, election denialism, public trials, and January 6th were not as important as the issues that moved them to send Donald Trump back to the White House.
Now, did you hear what she just said? January 6th, whatever she just said. Let's go back real quick. I want to drive this point home real quick. All right, I want to drive this point home.
As important as the issues January 6th, election denialism, public trials. And January 6th were not as important as the issues that moved them to send Donald Trump back to the White House with their vote.
Did you hear that? This is coming from NBC, the devil themselves. January 6th, election denialism, all the public trials that Trump had, nobody cares. The only people sitting up, whining and crying about all that shit is black people. Because you don't read the room. Nobody cares. The rest of us, and I'm not trying to separate myself, but you know what I'm saying. The thinking people care about immigration, inflation, the economy, and foreign wars. We don't care about if somebody's mean to us or not. I don't care. People's opinion or the way people treat me doesn't affect my paycheck. The economy does. And that's the way reasonable people voted this go around. It's only overly emotional, illogical black people that voted for Kamala Harris in large numbers. Nobody, no offense, but nobody else was that dumb. Nobody else was that dumb. Now, what I want to do real quick is I want to show you how delusional some, I repeat, some black women are when it comes to politics. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to The View real quick, and we're going to watch Sunny Hostin's response to the Morning Joe team having a meeting with Trump. All right? This is her response.
Are you talking? Well, okay. Look.
And for the record, this woman makes me sick. I cannot stand this woman for the life of me. I cannot stand her.
The bottom line is that America needs a free press that is willing to speak truth to power right now, more than ever. And I think that we have to be very clear-eyed when we think about the president-elect and cover the president-elect. And I don't think you need to sit down for 90 minutes at Mar-a-Lago and kiss his ring to be able to speak truth and to be able to cover a story. So maybe they're not journalists in the true sense. Maybe they're saying that they're opinion journalists. But we have to remember that Trump is the guy who ushered in the era of fake news. He is the guy who ushered...
Trump didn't usher in fake news. The news ushered in fake news. Trump called it out. Trump called it out. And that's another reason why these people can't stand Trump. Because Trump called out their bullshit. You know what kills me? As black folks, we have been complaining about the FBI, the CIA, and the media since I've been born. We've all been saying that it's corrupt. The minute Trump gets in place and calls it just like we see it, all of a sudden it's not corrupt no more. All of a sudden the news is valid. All of a sudden the FBI is peachy clean. You can't make this up, man. Let's go.
In alternative facts. He is the guy who attacked 3 black female journalists. He's the guy that revoked Jim Acosta's press credentials for asking him a question.
This is how clueless they are. She's still talking about personal things that she's upset about. We don't care about any of that shit. We care about the money in our pockets. We care about our quality of life. I don't care if he was mean to your friends. I don't care. Nobody cared. Most of the country didn't care. None of the swing states cared. But I like that they're doing this, because they're going to further put their side further in the hole, because they just don't get it. The first clip I showed you with the people from MSNBC, they get it. They see what's going on. But like I said, when it comes to us, we fail to read the room. We fail to read it. And it kicks us in our ass every single time. Let's go.
And so I think that this president-elect, I hate to say it, would like nothing more than to have only Fox News cover him, would like nothing more than a state-sponsored media. And I don't think he can be trusted in the way that other presidents can be trusted. This is an aberration.
But the reality is he doesn't just have Fox News. He didn't do a lot of mainstream media this election, but he went on Joe Rogan and reached 50 million people.
This is where it gets interesting. Let's go.
Yeah. None of us could talk to Donald Trump again. No mainstream legacy media could, and he's still going to reach the vast majority of this country. So I actually think extremely highly of both Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. I don't think this is opportunistic. I don't think that this is a judgment on their character. I think they recognize 75 million people voted for this guy. He will be in power short of something, an impeachment for the next 4 years. So where can we make some changes on the margins? My first day, if I could say real quick.
Okay.
My first day in the Trump White House working for Pence was the day of the Las Vegas shooting. Donald Trump worked with Congress to ban bump stocks. The Supreme Court later overturned it. One small thing like that could save lives. I'm not going to say I don't want to change anything if I have to acknowledge that this person exists and speak to him. I'd like to have marginal change.
I'm going to wait and see what I'm dealing with, as I've said since the election, because I don't know. I see some things that seem strange to me, but now they're starting to seem strange to other people too. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to have some popcorn. And when I have something to say, I will say it. And we'll go from there, because...
See, Whoopi's playing it safe. Right? But you can see the liberal media is starting to crack. They're starting to crack. They don't have any choice, because the American people spoke loud and clear. It's the only one on the stage who's still delusional is Sunny Hostin. She's the only one that's still delusional. I don't get it. I mean, this woman just refuses to concede, and she can't read the room. And of course, it's got to be a black chick. It's always the black chick trying to buck the system with no actual logical point. It's always the sister trying to buck the system, loud, wrong, snapping her fingers with no point. Cue my man Kevin Samuels.
Suppress for a little
bit. Shame, insult, guilt, the need to be right.
And this is what I always say.
That sums it up perfectly. Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Now, speaking of the victim mentality, I want to give you guys a prime example of how easy it is to take black people's money, keeping them in a victim mentality. All right, so I saw this post the other day. Earlier today, I saw this post on Facebook about an app called Angel Tech, right? And Angel Tech is interesting. So I looked it up. Because they were claiming it was an app to prevent racial attacks. Literally, that's what the post said, right? So I looked it up and I found this article on Essence about Angel Tech. And I just want to read this crap to you guys, because there's some points that I really want to make about this victim mentality. All right? So let's get to this article real quick. All right, can you guys see that? Oh, no, you can't. All right, here's the article right here. Let me take myself off. All right, boom, let's go. Oh, shit. All right, here's the article right here. All right, so it says black couple launches app that can help track missing black people and racist incidents. So it says, where law enforcement and some public officials may let us down, a black couple is using technology to help improve public safety in our communities right from our smartphones. James Samuel Jr., a black military veteran, and his wife, Evelyn, are developers behind Angel Tech, an app that can live stream video and share your location with loved ones in real time. The new app is designed to be a personal security system to capture racist encounters. All right, I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to read that whole thing. But as you can see, this is complete nonsense. This is complete nonsense. Okay? The new app is designed to be a personal security system to capture racist encounters. So it doesn't capture any other encounters? Like, what are we talking about here? You know what's crazy? What's crazy is, and what would have made more sense to me is, instead of sensationalizing racism, which is what we do all day, right? Instead of sensationalize it, why wouldn't you promote some of the better things this app can do? With the amount of murders that go on in our community that other black people do, this would be a useful app for that. Why not promote that? I'm much more interested in an app and a camera that can protect me from these crazy ass niggas out here than I am worried about some racial incident. Hate crimes happen to black people far, like not even a percentage compared to black on black crimes in your own community. Now, I'm sure that these people who came up with this app have good intentions, right? I'm not here to try to dump on them. But I just want you guys to realize how we're being manipulated and played. We're never directed at the real problem. We're always directed at somebody else, right? And this is gonna sell like hotcakes because black people love being victims. So you tell them this app is gonna keep them from, is gonna help them out in a racial incident, which most people will never happen to them in their life. I mean, it seems like a good product, seems like good technology. I just don't know why they were promoted like that. Like, with all the other dangers going on in our communities, why are we focusing on racial incidents? What's the motive behind this? And I know you guys, you could call me a coon, call me whatever you want. I'm not any of that, but if that's what you want to call me, that's fine. I don't care at this point. I'm just trying to make this shit make sense. If the biggest problems we have in the black community are niggas shooting other niggas, and yes, that is our biggest problem, besides our health, why are we focusing on racial incidents that rarely happen? Most black people don't live nowhere near white people. And the racist white people, first of all, racist white people wouldn't come nowhere near where you live. You don't never see the Ku Klux Klan in the hood. If they really wanted to round some niggas up and kill them, they could. You never see it. So yeah, let's start focusing on the real goddamn problems, people. The real problems. All right, now what do we have next? Oh yeah. Speaking of playing the victim again, I want to remind you guys, so that just piggybacks off this last story I just read about the app that's going to protect you from racial violence. You know, for a group of people who say or claim that white people are doing so much harm to us, why is it that when white people say, okay, fine, I'll leave you on your own, I'll up and leave, then we're all up in arms? Let me point you guys to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This is a very interesting story. It's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where a group of wealthier residents decided that they wanted to make their own school system because, to be honest with you, they probably didn't want to send their kid to school with niggas. I mean, Baton Rouge is wild and crazy. So the people of this neighborhood wanted to, I guess, create their own school district where their tax dollars could go to benefit their children. That didn't work out, so then they filed to incorporate their own city. And the same black people who cry and whine and are so scared of racist and white people are now pissed that the white people want to go somewhere else. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Its highest court has sent its ruling down, paving the way for St. George to officially become its own city. Fox 44's Deshaun Johnson has more on this decision.
It's been an ongoing debate for years in the capital area, whether or not St. George should be incorporated into its own city. And today, that final decision was given the green light.
They had hoped that we would get this process done. They voted in this election.
I will proceed to have conversations to determine the best course of action.
The Louisiana Supreme Court ruled in favor for the new city with a 4-3 vote. Andrew Murrell, who was a lawyer for the St. George Incorporators, says that this ruling made today was something efficient for the area.
We are open for everyone. If you want more opportunity, you want a better life, you want a chance for lower crime, St. George.
There were several concerns around the incorporation, with many stating that St. George wouldn't be able to support the necessary services. Mayor President Sharon Weston Broome discussed the recent changes and says that it's always been her goal to keep unity in the city.
I will always believe that keeping this city united was the right thing to do.
With this new ruling, St. George will now join the cities of Baker, Central, and Zachary as cities within East Baton Rouge. Murrell says that the constant dealings with going to court were unnecessary, while Mayor Broome says that she'll continue to have further discussion on the process of turning St. George into a city.
We can keep suing each other all day long, and that doesn't benefit anybody in this parish.
The only recourse at this time would be to ask for a rehearing in the matter.
Despite the court's decision, both Murrell and Mayor Broome will continue to advocate for unity amongst the city parish.
We would like to do something different, so let's work together and we can move fast, move efficiently.
I am committed to serving the residents of St. George, just as I serve those of Baker, Central, and Zachary.
So let's stop right there. So what I don't get is, I don't understand why they won't just let these people go. If they want to go and start their own city, let them do it. But they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it because deep down inside, even though they claim that white people are the banes of their existence, as soon as they want to pick up and leave and go somewhere else, now you crying and whining that that's racist. Which one is it? Are they terrorizing you, or do you need them for their tax dollars? Or is it both? Which one is it? Like this, you can't make none of this up. Every day in the news, you got Negroes whining and crying about white people. The white people say, fine, we'll get up and just make our own. And they didn't even say it's all white. It's just a certain part of town wanted to incorporate their own city, which makes sense. Because it comes to a certain point of time where people get tired of having to put their tax dollars up to pay for other people's foolishness. Baton Rouge is a crazy city. And if I'm a wealthier individual in Baton Rouge, I think it's high time we just leave these Negroes on their own. You want to be in the projects, shoot each other up, mess up the schools, make it hard for other children to learn, do that on your own. We're going to do this over here. You cannot blame anybody for wanting to do that. You can't blame them. You can't. You really can't. But anyway, I want to show you this other quick video from on Roland Martin's channel. This guy, I think his name is, what is his name? Ray Chambers or Roy Chambers. He's a politician from Louisiana. I think he ran for Congress. He's the guy that ran for Congress with the weed ad, smoking weed on the camera, running for Congress. That clown. This is what he had to say about it. All right. On Roland Martin's show.
2024, guess what? In Louisiana, the state Supreme Court there is allowing a largely white community to break apart and separate the city of Baton Rouge to create their own city. This has been a 6-year effort by folks there. On Friday, the Supreme Court granted the formation of the predominantly white city of St. George, which will be separate from Baton Rouge. The ruling is sparking concerns about segregation. Activist Gary Chambers posted a video talking about this here. He joins us now from Baton Rouge. Gary, glad to have you here. You made clear, Gary, that this was a very organized effort by a handful of people with a lot of money to achieve the creation of their own city. Walk folks through how this happened.
So, Roland, we have a man named Norman Browning who organizes a group of about 10 people that decide they want a new school district because they don't want their kids to go to the schools of Baton Rouge. Keep in mind, Baton Rouge is the city that had the longest desegregation lawsuit in America. We didn't finish that lawsuit until the 90s. And so when you look at the conversation around people wanting a new school district, these are people who ultimately don't want their kids to go to school with black kids.
So what? So what? So what? Now, black folks, let's talk for real here. Let's talk. I know this goes on in DC. So the black people that got sense in DC, there are 3 schools in DC, high school wise, that everybody fights for their kids to get into. All right? There's 3 schools. You have Wilson, which is the school I went to. It's called Jackson Reed now. You have Wilson or Jackson Reed. You have School Without Walls, and you have Banneker. The reason why people want their kids at these schools, because these schools are a filter from niggatry. It is a filter from niggatry. Now, if black people want to be filtered from niggatry, why wouldn't you expect white people to want to be filtered from niggatry? This is where we have to look in the mirror and see where we went wrong in this situation. Why don't people want their kids going to school around us? At this point, it doesn't have anything to do with the color of your skin. If people are getting shot, stabbed, fighting every day, the classes are crowded, all type of crap going on in these schools, why would anybody who is a tax-paying citizen want to put up with that? Why would they want to? Why would a logical person want to put up with that? Black people don't even want to put up with that shit. Black people don't even want to do it. So you know damn well don't nobody else want to either. I mean, look. At the end of the day, the community is cooked. It's cooked because masculinity doesn't hold any weight in our culture. Masculinity holds no weight. Accountability doesn't hold any weight in our country. And neither do morals and traditional values. It's all about pacifying and pedestalizing the women. It's all about pedestalizing and pacifying the women to the point where they just say and do anything and you niggas accept it. You niggas accept it. And that brings me to this next video, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. All right? Let's get into it. Shit, oh, I think it's here. All right. Give me a second.
He was a simp. I ain't been years, my husband even more on the internet. He was a simp and I seen the opportunity and I took it.
What his qualities was?
I mean, for one, he accepted the fact that I have 3 kids.
So you got 3 kids too?
I have 3 children.
And the niggas supposed to come with the bag?
They're supposed to come. And that's why you have to have a bag.
Yeah.
Like you gotta take care of me and my kids.
So
this is real, y'all. This is real. Let's go.
Like you automatically get these responsibilities?
Yes.
Stop playing.
I'm not playing.
And how many niggas doing this?
I have between 2 or 3.
I'm saying, how many have you ran into in life?
Okay, so let's say I run into 100 dudes. Probably about 4 of them.
Yeah, they're about the odds.
Mm-hmm.
I fuck with that now.
Probably about 4
They're about the odds. All right.
I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no. So that kind of sound like you are delusional. You just catching. It's just a sucker born every day.
Basically.
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying.
4 out of 100. A 4% chance. Honestly, you 4% of niggas ought to be ashamed of yourselves. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Let's go.
A nigga that's so you ain't never caught no nigga that's worth something doing that though. Am I kidding?
I probably have one. See, the way this game work is you have to get with a man who ain't used to dating.
All right, and we're gonna stop that right there. We're gonna stop that right there. Cause I wanna take that into this next clip. Cause I wanna show you guys just how messed up this culture is. And it starts right there. Because we allow this foolishness out of our women. You still got Negroes out here who would date something like that. This is why I say the community's cooked. If this woman can get on in front of the world on social media and say some shit like this and niggas will still take her seriously, that's how you know we cooked. That's how you know that fathers have been out of the households for so long that they can just come out and say this shit in the open and walk away like it ain't nothing. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I want to get to this next clip. This is from a rapper named Glow Up. All right? It's from a rapper named Glow Up.
Y'all must forget.
Where she brags about being a prostitute. Let's go.
Y'all, this girl ain't been around me in probably a year, and she going around these motherfuckers talking about I'm broke. Mommy, I need help. Broke?
Listen to the way she's talking and her daughter's in the background. Her daughter's right there with her. Mommy, I need help. But she's too busy on the internet talking shit. Talking shit on the internet with her daughter right there. Her daughter's watching this and thinking that this is normal behavior. Understand, we're 7, 8 generations deep in this shit now. We're 6, 7 generations deep in hood rat culture. The community's cooked. This is the standard.
Huh? What? Y'all must forgot. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know me. And my friends, they can fucking vouch for me, baby. Even when I was broke, bitch, I wasn't fucking broke. Cause I promise you I had this Chinese trick.
Listen to the language in front of her child. Listen to this. Why hasn't this woman been canceled? Where is Department of Child Services? Where are they at?
They did everything for everybody. That's why I don't understand this shit. And it's crazy because when I had that trick, like I had ran through so much money to the point I was making sure everybody was straight, from my mama, my brothers, my sisters, everybody. My daddy was calling. The nigga was fucking 70, and my daddy was talking about some son-in-law. Like that.
This is why nobody wants to send their kids to school around niggas. This is why. This is why. These are the women who raising all the niggas who are killing people. These are the women. And it's more of them than there are the good ones. There's more of them. They're everywhere. And you niggas is still hitting them raw. The community's cooked. Get a life vest and jump off the boat. While we're not too far from the shore, it's not too late to get away. It's not too late. Let's go, man.
That's how you know this shit. The nigga was making sure everybody was good. What? When I was broke, I didn't go to you. I didn't go to my mama. I asked my mama. But when she was like, no, that ain't do shit but motivate me to go get on my shit.
This woman is on live on Instagram admitting to prostitution. They need to be, shout out to Kirk Keys. He said he hit the Omar Joe. They need to be put to sleep for good. Bro, this is insane. This is insane. This is insane. I'm gonna let her cook though. She's admitting to prostitution live on the internet in front of her daughter, who sounds like she's no older than 2 or 3 years old.
The hell? You got up in there. I swear to God, y'all, the nigga was motherfucking 70 years old, an Asian. Y'all can go on my Facebook page, y'all can see the pictures. Y'all, he didn't even fucking speak English for real, to the point I called his ass Charlie. The fuck? My daddy, literally. What's up, son-in-law? Don't fucking play with me. I didn't ask your ass for no goddamn money, girl. Stop lying. Y'all must forget. I still got the keys to my cars that nigga bought me. I didn't even wreck neither one of the cars.
Bro, this is where we at, man. This is where we at. A culture of women who idolize prostitution. And I always say this. Because I want to make it clear. The reason why I'm trying to tell these black women this is because look what they did to black men in the 90s. They got all black men hooked on hip hop or gangster rap from the early 90s up until now. Gangster rap has single-handedly ruined the reputations of most of us. The reason that we get racially profiled, unfortunately, is because of hip hop. Because we all adapted that gangster-like mentality because that was the cool thing to do. But in the process, it put a target on all our backs. Now, I'm sitting up here watching the women do the same thing, except it's going to be worse for the women. It's going to be worse. Because all we got to do is put on a suit, clean ourselves up a little bit, and people will take us seriously. People don't take black women seriously because all of you guys all of you guys take on to that culture. For God's sakes, an alleged black woman just ran for president and had every thought in the universe twerking on stage with her. Every thought. From Megan Thee Stallion to Glorilla to Cardi B. This is what they think of you. They think all of you are on Baddies East. They think this of you. And instead of y'all checking it and distancing yourselves from these type of people, you embrace it. You embrace it. Talking about you the least protected. You're not the least protected. You're the least protectable, if that's even a word. Protectable. I gotta look that up. Somebody let me know. Is that a word? Protectable. But y'all get what I'm saying. You're hard to protect. It's hard to protect somebody who wants to go out and twerk, wear revealing clothes, and talk smack to grown men like they grown men. It's hard to protect that. Niggas don't need them type of problems in their life. Niggas don't need them type of problems in their life, man. That's why the good men go get white women. Nigga make a name for himself, got his reputation up. I'm not saying all good men. I know plenty of good black men that's married to good black women. I ain't gonna act like I don't know any of that. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is your image to the rest of the world is that. That's your image. and you continue to embrace it. You make excuses for it every chance you get. And this is not an indictment on all black women. I'm just saying. You know? Now, the crazy part about this whole hip hop baby mama culture that we love so goddamn much is how these Negroes defend the ignorance. In real talk, I mean, I used to do it too. I didn't see it back then when I was a kid. We talk about people like C. Dolores Tucker and the Reverend Calvin Butts. All them people were absolutely right about how they said hip hop would destroy our community. They were absolutely right. And instead of taking heed to what they had to say, we sided with Tupac. Tupac made a song called They Wonder Why You Call You Bitch, and he referenced C. Dolores Tucker in that song. All she was trying to do was save you niggas from destroying yourselves. Fast forward to the present. Pac is dead. Pac is dead from living a life he had no business in, and the community is in shambles. It's in shambles. Now, real quick, this next clip is from an old 90s video where a lady, I don't know if y'all remember Mother Love, but Mother Love and Sister Soldier were arguing about the integrity in hip hop music. All right? So let's get to it. Let's get to it. We almost done, y'all. We almost done. Here we go.
Glad us off and get out the dream world.
Mr. Soldier, you know, there are some rap stations that have self-censored here. They refuse to play what they call gangster rap because they denounce it with the violent lyrics and misogyny towards women. Do you at least denounce that sort of attitude, those kinds of lyrics?
Well, it's interesting that you continue to say gangster rap when somebody like has a great mixture of music and is
Wait a minute, Sister Soldier. Wait a minute,
I'll let
Sister
you
Soldier.
speak. Please let me just respond, okay?
So she's talking about Tupac. She said a guy like Tupac with a mix. It kind of cut off a little bit, but she's talking about Pac.
Somebody like Tupac Shakur has a very excellent record. A salute to his mother and a salute to all black mothers and black children. So
a salute to his mother? He blames his mother for his brother being a crack baby. She doesn't deserve a salute. I'm going to say it right here and right now. Afeni Shakur should probably go down as one of the worst mothers in the entire world. Afeni Shakur is top 5 worst moms in the world. First off, she kept Pac from his father, lied to his father, moved all around the country, hid from his father, and didn't even let the man see his son. Then, she smoked crack while she was pregnant. She raised Tupac to be a volatile, emotionally unstable, irrational human being. It ultimately got him killed. I mean, she literally kept this man from his father his whole life, lied to him about it, said the man was dead, all type of stuff. Horrible mother. Anyway, that triggered me. That triggered me. Let's get back to the video.
the only thing that I'm trying to say is that hip hop is diversified, and sometimes you try to paint somebody with one flat color and you don't recognize that their minds are in a state of turmoil, which is why when you give them a mic, they don't necessarily represent one clear philosophy, because they're young black men who are confused and miseducated, as most young black children are in the American educational system, where they don't learn about their culture and don't get the values that they ought to have in order to survive and do positive and productive things.
Mother Love, you get to finish up here.
No, I agree with what she's saying, and you are very well spoken, my sister, and I understand what you're saying. What I am talking about, I'm not talking about the
not talking about when Tupac has made the song that is a tribute to all mothers and welfare mothers. But what he does, he's also in jail for an attempted rape. I mean, come on, these kids see this stuff every single day. You have to decide
Right, so the
what you're going to do. You can't
listen,
listen.
the question
sweetie,
becomes, what are we going to do about the situation? And I think
what we are going to do.
The community is in a state of crisis.
And you know that, and I know that.
Is to sit down and talk. And one of the reasons why young people are in a state of crisis is because adults use the media to attack them and don't sit down and have those personal conversations that help to improve the psychological mind state.
See, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Nobody wants to say the truth. The reason that the kids, even back then, were in that state of mind is because the women were tricked into thinking that they don't need men. That's what it's about. The women were tricked into thinking that they don't need men, and it says there's no man in the house. The boys especially are running wild. What are you going to do as a little woman to a 13, 14-year-old boy that's smelling himself now? What are you going to do to him? You can't do nothing. That's the problem. You know what kept me from doing stupid shit when I was a kid? I'm not saying I was perfect. The fact that I knew my father would kick my ass if I came back in that house on some dumb shit. My father would kick my ass. These niggas don't fear ass whoopings. Cause your mom can't hurt you. That's the problem. Now, clearly, as I said earlier, the results are what they are at this point. The results are what they are. Look at the black community now. Look at the effect that hip hop has had. And I'm not just trying to be a hater. I'll let the artists tell you themselves. The artists will tell you. Most of them regret the shit they've been doing. Let's go.
We get paid to rap about that stuff. They actually pay us more when we rap about more ignorant stuff, so I make sure I even align and come talk on stages like this.
Man, I was flooded with millions of dollars from the time I was 16. And I woke up one morning and I was like, damn, they got me. Man, look at the shit I spoke about. Look at the shit I put in these people's ears. Man, I feel very wrong about a lot of things. How many lives I actually am responsible for when it comes to my music. How many kids and people have gotten in the car or put this shit in their ears and actually went hurt someone. And now I'm sitting back like, damn.
It's weird. I've been having these weird feelings lately, and that's kind of why I didn't want to do this song, Shake It, or like any drill songs, because it's like these songs are activating like these demons that I killed. I don't want to be that girl anymore. Like, I just want to be a mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be that old Cardi anymore.
I want to be a city girl.
She ain't gonna be no city girl.
So Summer ain't allowed to be no city girl?
So her kid isn't allowed to be a city girl because she knows that it's toxic. But your daughter is. Your daughter needs to buy tickets to go see the city girls. They're gonna be a little city girl. Let's go.
No. I want her raised totally different. Like, you know, I don't even want her to even see the light of day like that. Like, I really want her to just be like, you know, like level-headed, a schoolgirl, and just on a whole nother wave.
We get paid to rap.
It is what it is, man. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. You get what I'm saying. Hip hop is a major problem when it comes to the black community. It's the culture in general. The culture is trash. Save yourself and your family. Get off the boat. These niggas are going to hit an iceberg and it's not going to be good. Get out. Get out. Another prime example of piss poor. Let me rephrase that. Another example of not being able to read the room. Now, earlier, when we talked about the Biden administration, I told you guys how he cut a Trump executive order to fund HBCUs permanently, right? He cut the order, cut the funding, right? And most black people voted for Joe Biden. So let me show you what happens when you vote for these people and what happens to the things you hold dearly. All right, let's get to this. Because this right here is the kicker for me.
I think we're going to be good. We're going to get back out of this hole. It's just a negative for a moment.
Tennessee State University trying to claw itself out of financial turmoil.
You used me, Skinner! You used me!
Financial turmoil. Under Trump, you were funded heavily. Under Trump, you were funded heavily. Let's go back. This is Tennessee State University, an HBCU.
I think we're going to be good. We're going to get back out of this hole. It's just a negative for a moment.
Tennessee State University trying to claw itself out of financial turmoil. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 5. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Wilgus. Yesterday, the school announced 114 layoffs amid its ongoing financial crisis. University leaders admit they wouldn't have been able to make payroll this month had it not been for the state's help. But News 2's Nikki McGee spoke with alumni who still have faith in TSU's new leadership.
Mounting financial pressures came to light Thursday as the TSU financial presentation detailed scholarships being used more like discounts. The school's unbalanced funds fell under the microscope as TSU's interim president detailed his way forward.
The lack of checks and balances is beyond troubling.
Dr. Roland Johnson announced 114 layoffs and a 100-day plan, which he estimates will yield $13 million in savings. Lawmakers suggested TSU leaders sell its downtown campus, something many alumni oppose. The Nashville mayor suggests they consider a joint development to generate funds.
TSU is such a fundamental part of our educational landscape, and it does create opportunity for thousands of Nashvillians and people coming to Nashville to be there.
Alumni Dwight Beard from West Tennessee is one of almost 40 in his family to attend TSU. And he says some of his earlier family wouldn't have been able to go to college at all had it not been for the school.
We've turned out great leaders all over the world, and I'm also proud that they have helped students that otherwise would have not been able to be in their fields of education, in their fields of teaching, in their fields of corporations.
Beard is one of multiple alumni pointing to $1 billion the Department of Education claimed TSU was owed due to unbalanced funding compared to UT Knoxville. Beard hopes state leaders will work together with TSU and says he has confidence in its current leadership.
Y'all voted for this. Y'all voted for this. You voted for this. Trump funded HBCUs indefinitely. I think it was like $50 billion a year allocated strictly for HBCUs. Now, granted, a college shouldn't have to operate off federal funding. That is piss poor. They should be turning out leaders and successful people out in the world who can give back, like boosters and other alumni do for other schools. But they aren't. They aren't. You get my point? You get my drift? You see where I'm going with this? Stop voting emotionally and vote for policy. But anyways, man, there we have it. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's no need to beat a dead horse. I could show you example after example after example. Okay? What I want y'all to do is, I want you guys to consider taking the only logical step there is to take right now and distance yourself from this toxic culture because it can't be fixed. If you're a hardworking, tax-paying citizen or entrepreneur that wants to get all you can get out of the American experience, focus on the policy that best fits your family. Focus on that. Because voting with the rest of the Negro delegation only leads to one thing: communism. Meaning, Your hard-earned tax dollars go towards supporting people who haven't contributed anything positive to society. You work 40 plus hours a week and they get to chill all damn day. They get to eat off food stamps, pay little to nothing for rent, and then tear everything up in sight. And then they blame the government, who they voted in and who also happens to be funding their lives. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a never-ending cycle of unaccountability. That's black culture in a nutshell right now. A never-ending cycle of unaccountability. And I'm not saying this to big up the white man, whatever you think I'm trying to do. I'm saying this because this is what you need to hear. This is not a functional community. This is not a functional culture. This is glorified degeneracy at best. And there's no way on God's green earth that this is going to last. It's just not. It's just not. It's just not. Right now, as it speaks, but this culture, the good doesn't outweigh the bad. It just doesn't. At least not in the eyes of the common person. But anyways, that's all my time for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely enjoyed it. And I want to remind you guys, especially if you're watching on the playback, listen, whether you agree, you disagree, or you're indifferent, do me a favor, leave a comment in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell, and select all. And if you're feeling generous, you can go down to the heart button with the $sign on it, leave a little donation in the super like button. Or you can go to $Trippin' Ain't Easy TV on Cash App. If you want to contribute to the show, you don't have to, no big deal. But I want you guys to remember something. Trippin' ain't easy, but somebody's gotta do it. On that note, peace out. Catch you guys on the next one.